retirement can cause quite a bit of confusion for people. Everything from which accounts to save into to how and when to claim Social Security. So thankfully, we have Ohio's retirement coach here to help us every Monday. Greg Taylor is the president of Legacy Retirement Group and the host of Winning Retirement Radio. Happy Monday, Greg.
Happy Monday.
All right, this is it. The first one. I feel a lot of people have asked this question to themselves at one time or another. Have a 401k from a previous job. Should I roll it over into an annuity? Or should I, and keep my current 401k as the primary retirement savings account, I should say?
Well, understand this. First of all, an annuity is simply a tool. So whether you roll your 401k over is one decision, whether you put it into an annuity is a separate decision.
Okay.
Now, those that are considering to be retired prior to age 59 and a half, if you pull out of a 401k, you can do so without that 10% excise tax penalty. So you want to make sure strategically that you keep enough in a 401k so that you can pull out dollars without having to worry about the 72T provision or paying that extra 10% excise tax. So that's one decision, whether or not to roll it over. Now, the advantage of getting it out of a 401k is you can have professional management help you, and you have the world of investment options out there. Not just annuities. An annuity might be a suitable place to put some of it. It may or may not. But the main thing is whether or not you should roll it over. Most cases, yes. In a few cases, no.
Okay. All right, Greg, question 2. Is it better to have multiple retirement accounts or to consolidate them into one or two primary accounts?
You know, everybody has a different thought process on that. Some people, they want to have accounts everywhere and they feel they're diversified. Oftentimes we find that even though they're all over the place, they're not that diversified because they maybe have similar holdings. So if the markets move a certain direction, all their various accounts are going to move in a different direction. I find that if you have an advisor that knows what you're trying to achieve, knows your risk tolerance, can understand your ultimate goal, and that then can put you in a wide correlation of programs. So in other words, if you want some growth, but you also want some safety and some things like that, you'll probably have a better chance of having more of a predictable outcome if you have someone that you trust that's really working together for your good.
Because that's a good point. I mean, if you don't have things diversified, but you've got 60 different accounts, it's really not going to make a difference for you.
It really isn't.
Okay, Greg, question 3. What is considered a good rate of return on stocks and bonds?
You know, we've all heard that average, that the market average is 10%. Well, Dalbar did a study on this, and they said, well, the markets have averaged close to 10% over the years, but investors only gather in about half of that. And the reason for that is emotion. So you have to think about averaging, and by the way, that's if you're taking all the risks. So if you're getting close to retirement, you may only be comfortable with a certain amount of risk. So you may only be tracking a different benchmark than just the S&P 500. So we'd say, well, the S&P's done about 10%. I think a fair average rate of return for someone to expect as they get to retirement is somewhere between 6 and 8%. And if you can do that consistently, you're going to beat inflation. And as long as you saved well, you should be okay.
Okay, you got to be realistic, though, about it.
Well, you do. And if someone's promising you 10, 12, 14% returns, you really need to be a little skeptical about that.
Okay.
How much risk are you taking, or is it something that's actually legitimate?
Okay, there you go. Greg, question number 4. If I go back to work after I've retired and filed for Social Security, will I qualify for an increase to my benefits?
Well, there's something a lot of people don't realize. Once you start taking Social Security, you have a 12-month window. So if you get offered this awesome job and you say, well, I'm not quite full retirement age yet, and so I'm going to now go back to work, and I got this awesome opportunity. Well, if it's going to be more than $15,800, then it's going to cause you to pay some of that Social Security back. Well, if it's within that first 12-month period, you can pay back the Social Security benefits that you've already received and then delay your benefits until later when it's time for you to claim the strategy you're looking for.
That's good to know. That if there is an opportunity, obviously, that you want to take, there's still something you can do about it.
Yes.
Okay, Greg, questions at ohiosretirementcoach.com. People can email you. Really, no question is off limits, right?
No, it isn't. Now, for things that are super personal, maybe it's better to schedule an appointment. But for general ideas, we'll be glad to answer questions. We look forward to those.
Okay, you can email Greg. The email address, I should say, is on the screen. Greg, as always, great advice. Thank you. All right, well, Kristen is joining us after the break as we break down a new executive order signed by President Trump that takes aim at the financial services industry. What it all means for you when we come back.